Hello. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about accepting change or lenses of perception. Does how we view people affect their ability to change? So my name is Cassandra MacAlan, and I want to thank you as always for joining me today. If you want to watch any of my previous talks, you can find them under media and videos here, or on YouTube under Casandra MacAlan Thought Pain Therapy, where I also have mini video reels, which you can also see on TikTok and Instagram. And please like and subscribe. So today I want to explore how our perceptual lens of others and ourselves affects our ability to accept and acknowledge change. So what is a lens of perception? I think of this like the lenses of glasses we might wear. They affect what we see, generally making it clearer. However, the lenses with which we see others don't necessarily make them clearer to our vision. Instead, they tend to make them appear static, unchanging, and expected. We have a specific lens with which we always see somebody, and it's different than how we see other people. These lenses are made up of everything we know about them. Think of it like the way you would describe someone to someone else if you were being completely honest about how you see their personality. The way they talk, the things they love, the things they hate, how they respond to joy or adversity, whether they tend emotionally towards positivity, negativity, or lack of caring. For each person, we hold a vision in our minds of who they are that can become so concrete that we simply couldn't imagine them being any different. You can even apply this towards their appearance. Have you ever been shocked when someone you know, perhaps love even, changes their hair? Oh my God, you've got bangs, you might say. Startled that they could be so radical. Or if they change their style of dress, start wearing glasses or contacts, lose or gain weight, it can be surprisingly annoying. We might even ask them why they did it. We'll tell them politely, of course, that we loved the way they looked before. This is because we can no longer view them in the same way. So now we have to update our lenses to reflect this new perception of them. I know for myself, over the course of my life, I was always shocked when someone I knew would seem completely off balance by the way I changed my hair, as if I should have gotten their approval first, even if they liked it. Well, this was because I was forcing them to change their view of me visually. And sometimes people can't even contain their outbursts of, wow, you lost weight, or, oh my goodness, you look so different. And to you, this might seem bizarre. Why does someone else even care what we look like? For that matter, why do we even care what someone else looks like? Well, this is because of this lens. And this can also be the reason why within the first few microseconds of meeting someone new, you try to place them in categories, usually along the lines of gender, ethnicity, and age. And for some people, if they can't figure out these personal characteristics of someone else, it can make them feel really uncomfortable. They don't know how to perceive them. Now, you might understand that this perceptual lens as it relates to someone's physical appearance. But believe it or not, it has an even stronger effect when it relates to the mental and emotional aspects of someone's personality. We create a specific lens of every single person we know, a blueprint or an image of how they feel to us as people. So I'm going to share some examples. And as I do, I would love it if you would imagine people in your life who fit these. Ready? Are they easygoing or uptight? Do they make decisions quickly or are they indecisive? Are they calm in the face of unexpected change or do they become anxious or irritable? When they say they're going to do something, do they do it immediately or are they prone to procrastinate? Are they someone who complains a lot or maybe they wear rose-colored glasses? Are they upbeat, cranky, silly, fun, serious, witty, wise? We might even categorize them based on their faith or political beliefs, especially when they disagree with our own. In other words, we feel like we really know them. Perhaps we might even think we know them better than they know themselves. So why does this matter? Why is this a problem, you may be asking yourself? Well, it becomes one when they start to change, especially if we're close to them. If who they are is someone we rely upon or trust to be who we expect them to be, the positive and even the negative aspects of them. We've grown to rely upon the positive and we've created workarounds for the negatives. For instance, if you were in trouble, you could probably imagine exactly who you might call. Maybe somebody different, even depending upon the type of trouble you were in. Or if you wanted to accomplish something, depending on the something, you might have a different friend who you would call. Who would you call to invite out to a party? Who would you rather hang out with at home watching a movie? When a relationship goes awry, who would get angry on your behalf? And who would point out your responsibility in it? Who would you trust with your deepest secrets? Or who would you allow to hold you when you cry? These could be different people. And I bet you're thinking of specific people as I say this. So, what happens if one of these people begins to grow and change? Perhaps they no longer like the same things as they used to. Perhaps they've become more extroverted or introverted than they were. Or maybe they might not like the same people they used to. Maybe they no longer fly off the handle. Or conversely, they become even more reactive to certain things that didn't seem to bother them before. If you've ever noticed someone going through traumatic events, you might have noticed them becoming more reactive to things that didn't seem to bother them. Or, in the case with the women in my program, they've become less interested in things that bring drama and more interested in peace, less interested in gossip, and more interested in positivity. But for those in their lives, this could be seen as becoming less fun by some, even if they're changing in ways that promote greater health and well-being for them. Now, this becomes even more problematic if we don't want to see these changes. We want to see them stay within the boundaries and expectations of the lens we've held about who they are. And when we do this, we unknowingly fail to see the positive changes that they're making because we're expecting them to screw up or be the same thoughtless person we have seen them to be. Regardless of what someone does to change themselves for the better, they cannot change our perception of them. Only we can do that. And if we continue to focus on those aspects of their personalities that we remember, we won't see all the positive strides they're making to become someone we might like even more. Let's say your husband decides he's going to help more out around the house. You might be very excited about the thought, but withhold the joy because you know him. Maybe you know he's made promises before and not fulfilled them. Maybe you say to him, "Sounds great, babe." But in your mind, you think, not likely. You can bet that if you refuse to grant yourself a different view of him, then you will likely not notice what he's done in favor of noticing instead everything he hasn't. And over time, this lack of notice or appreciation might lead him to think, what was the point of making the effort? And he himself might not even be able to hold the lens of these new options of behavior. For becoming someone other than who we see ourselves as is breaking the habit of being ourselves, as Dr. Joe Dispenza might say. Sadly, this is even harder than changing how we perceive someone else. I want you to think of a time you've thought perhaps about losing weight or starting a new exercise routine. And if you're a woman in America, I can guarantee that 99% of us have thought about this. Well, did you ever tell yourself privately, why should I bother? It won't work. Why did you say this? Just because you perhaps tried and failed in the past? This is because your lens of yourself tells you that this is something you just can't or won't do. And since it seems hard or difficult to begin with, if you add on top of that the memories that you haven't been able to meet your goals in the past, it can seem fruitless to even try. This perception of you has already been set by you. But really, who cares if you haven't been successful in the past? Why does it even matter? That was past tense. Today is the starting point of a new becoming. Today holds nothing but potential for greatness. So why not change your own lens of you and start seeing yourself as someone who can do hard things, or as someone who has the potential to become anyone they want to be, try anything they want to try. In fact, you are in this very moment holding a warehouse of unlimited potentiality within you. And yesterday doesn't matter anymore. Your failed starts, your unfulfilled dreams were all based on who you were, which is not who you are now. This moment creates a new future of becoming someone else. This new you can find a better job and quit your old one. Get out of that old home and find one you really love. Change the relationship that isn't fulfilling you. Change the body you don't desire to be in. In fact, you can change yourself so radically that even you don't recognize who you've become. And when someone says to you, oh my God, what happened? You can say, I decided to become the person I was always meant to be, and I'm on my way. Well, that's it for today. And I will see if anybody has any questions. Hello, Rita. Oh, thank you. I try to change the lenses daily. Hello, Susan. Oh, Rita's connecting difficulties. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can get back in and watch it maybe less live, and it'll come through. Other people can see me. Excellent. Your Feminine Freedom program really, really helped me with the concepts you're talking about today. Thank you. I changed my outlook on me. I am my biggest champion now, and my life has elevated so significantly in so many ways. I accept change better too. Oh, I love that. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next Monday. I haven't figured out what I'm going to talk about, so taking my lenses off. If you have something new for me to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you then. And remember that today, this moment is brand new, and you can become anyone you want to be. You're already on your way. You've already thought of it. It's happening. Okay. I'll see you on Monday. And in the meantime, take care of yourself from me.